everyone, so I am making this video to talk about Marshall's birth story. He's 9 weeks old, so it's taken me this long to actually get to it, but I wasn't really sure if I was going to be coming back to YouTube or not. If you follow me on my YouTube page, which I'll link somewhere around here, I said the other day that I wasn't sure if I was going to be coming back, but I'm just gonna do whatever kind of comes naturally to me just to keep you guys updated. So let me just jump on into it. So I went to an appointment on, I believe it was the Monday of that week. So let's see, he was born on the 9th, which was a Thursday or a Friday, so Thursday was the 8th, Wednesday was the 7th, Tuesday was 6th, so March 5th I had an appointment, and I went in and my blood pressure was high when I got there, and it was high when they checked it later. So I was about 39 weeks and some change, 2 days or something like that. So my doctor was like, the closer you get to your due date, the quicker onset preeclampsia can happen, and since you've already had it, why don't we just induce you? And I'm like, that's fine. And at this point I had been begging them for a couple weeks to induce me because I just felt like something was wrong. And at that point I was kind of like, well, I mean, we don't have to, but I still was excited. So they said, call tonight. No, not tonight, because it was supposed to be 8 a.m. on Tuesday, but then they changed it to 8 p.m. So call at 7 o'clock on Tuesday evening and see if they can get you in. Called on Tuesday evening, they couldn't get me in. So they were like, okay, we'll call on Wednesday evening, same time, see if they can get you in. Wednesday evening came, they couldn't get me in. So they were like, call Thursday morning, see if they can get you in. Called Thursday morning, they were like, we don't have any room. So by this point I was just pissed, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I was supposed to go in on Tuesday, it's now Thursday, what the hell? And this was my due date, so this was 40 weeks exactly. And so finally Thursday evening, I was actually getting ready to go to the other hospital, and they called me and they were like, do you want to come in? And I'm like, why are you even asking me that? So we got there around 5 o'clock on March 8th, which was his due date. And they were like, we're gonna put the Foley bulb in and just let you rest overnight. Okay, fine. So they put that in and I started contracting on my own, which was great. I was still only half a centimeter. And so all night I basically just contracted by myself. I asked for the morphine and fentanyl shot, and they gave me that. And I kind of just slept all night. And I came out, the Foley bulb came out around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I had it in for quite a couple hours, or quite a few hours. Between then I was going to the bathroom, and I was, what else? I was going to the bathroom and I was drinking quite a lot. But my nurses were great. So then, sorry, I'm looking outside. So then we woke up the next morning. My doctor, or my nurses came in. My one nurse that I liked, she was older, she was really nice. She was like, we're gonna unhook you, baby looks great, and take a shower, go down to the buffet. Our hospital has a buffet for all the moms, whether you're in labor or being induced or after you've had the baby. Go get some breakfast, and then we're gonna start your Pitocin. Okay, fine. So we went down around 9 o'clock to get some breakfast, and we ate. I had a shower and stuff. I was unhooked, it was nice. And then my doctor came in around 11, checked me, and I was only at a 2 or a 3. I wasn't very far. So he put the Foley bulb back in, another Foley bulb back in, and they filled it up twice as much as it was last time, and then they started my Pitocin. So this was around like 11:30, and I started contracting and everything, and we kind of just hung out. So around 2 o'clock I said that I wanted my epidural. Luckily the hospital that I was at was pretty small, so the anesthesiologists were right down the hall, so they came within like 5 minutes, and they put my epidural in, and I cry through it every time. I don't know why, I just cry through it. And right as they were finishing up, I felt like this twinge of pain and a pop, And this was the first time that I had ever experienced my water breaking on its own. And so it started, my amniotic fluid started coming out, and I mentioned it to my nurse. She checked the fluid and it was clear. So I got back in bed and I waited, and my epidural was not taking effect, exactly like it did with Lincoln. And I remember saying that I felt like my butthole was gonna rip. Like, there's so much pressure in my butthole. Oh, after the Foley bulb came out the second time and they checked me and I got my epidural and everything, I was at a 5 or a 6. And this was around 2 o'clock after they put the epidural in. I was at about a 5 or a 6. So then I got back in bed and they were like, well, lay there, see if it takes effect. Didn't take effect. I ended up in tears because the pain went from literally a 5 to like a 20 within like 5-10 minutes. And my epidural wasn't taking effect. They called the anesthesiologist back and they put in this medication that is stronger than the initial stuff that they put in, and they were like, this should take care of it. Did nothing. And I told my nurse, I was like, I really think that I need to be checked. So she went and got my doctor, and my doctor was actually there that day on the floor, and he came in, and this was maybe they started my epidural around 2:10. They finished it around 3, so this is probably around 3:10, 3:15. I was at a 9.5, so I went from a 6 to a 9.5 in about 15 minutes. And he goes, there's still a lip for your cervix. Why don't we wait? And I don't want you pushing because I don't want your cervix to swell. We're gonna have more issues if it starts swelling than if we just wait. Okay, fine. So they turned me over on my left side, and I felt Marshall's head push through my cervix, and I was like, nope, you need to call him back. My nurse was like, he just left. And I was like, no, you need to call him back. They wanted me to sit up as well, and I could not sit because there was just so much pressure and pain. So she went and got my doctor, and he was like, I was just in here. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So he checked again, and I was at a 10, and his head was right there. So the prior nurse, when I was getting my epidural, had already set up the cart for delivery, and he knew that I had a hemorrhaging problem. So I want to say that he came in around 3:30, 3:35-ish, and I started pushing, and Marshall was born at 3:38, so I pushed maybe for 3 minutes or so. And he was 6 pounds, 13 ounces, and I had like a tiny tear, so I only had like 1 or 2 stitches. But he was perfect. He cried. They put him on my chest, and we waited for my doctor always waits for the cord to stop pulsing before he allows whomever you have with you to cut it. And then I had to deliver the placenta, which I actually had a problem with. It took quite a while for the placenta to come out, which was fine. I did start to hemorrhage again like I did with Lincoln, but my doctor had already prepared for that just in case, and he gave me a suppository to help stop with the bleeding. But otherwise, the delivery went really smooth from start to finish. I count when I started the Pitocin as the start, so from start to finish was only like 4 hours. So not bad at all, because Sawyer was 50 hours and he ended in a C-section. Lincoln was 19 hours and he was a VBAC, and then Marshall was a VBAC as well, and he was only 4 hours. So not bad at all. Once my body goes, it goes. So that's basically my boring delivery or labor and delivery story. There was not much that went on. He started nursing like a champ, as you saw in the first video I posted of him, I believe. He was nursing like a champ, and yeah, I couldn't have asked for anything better. So he is now 9 weeks old. I don't know, let me see if I can get him. And he's such a chunky guy. I cannot, oh, sorry for my hair. I actually have my friend's daughter here, so I have a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, and then this guy. But it's going pretty smooth for having 4 kids, 3 and under. But yeah, his labor and delivery was smooth. I couldn't ask for anything better, and even my doctor said if all inductions could go like that, he goes, that would be great. So that is it. If you guys have any questions or if I forgot anything, I'll put it down below, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye!